What up, Giants fans? In today's show, we're going to go over the latest trade rumors circulating around the league as the trade deadline gets closer and closer. November 1st is the day. All these players have been mentioned in trade rumors. The Giants need a wide receiver, so let's talk about it. I want you to pick a wide receiver the Giants should trade for. Type 1 for DJ Moore, 2 for Jeudy, 3 for Brandin Cooks, 4 for Elijah Moore, or if there's somebody not on the list you think the Giants should trade for, just comment their name down below. Shout out to the real ones. You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Feels damn good to be 6-1. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Give the video a thumbs up right now if you're enjoying being 6-1. We all know the Giants need to make a move for a wide receiver. Go back to the game this past Sunday. Drops by Marcus Johnson. Dropped a touchdown. There was a lot of drops. Darius Slayton had a drop. Richie James had a drop. Look, you just can't drop the football, and that's what the Giants have done far too often this year. Going into the season, the wide receiver depth chart, there was a lot of optimism. But with Kenny Golladay hurt, Sterling Shepard hurt, Kadarius Toney hurt, and Wan'Dale Robinson just coming back to the lineup, who has looked really, really good, you just can't depend on Richie James, David Sills, Darius Slayton, and Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson has dropped 2 touchdowns in the past 2 weeks. The Giants need to make a move for a wide receiver. And when you look at the stats on screen right now, when Richie James is your leading receiver with 20 grabs, and then you have not another wide receiver on the roster that's healthy, and second with 11 grabs, then 10 grabs. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson has played in 9 quarters this year and is already second on the team with 10 receptions. You have to make a move. I like Richie James. He's a good number 3. Darius Slayton, if he could catch the football, he'd be pretty damn good. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be a stud in this league. I would like the Giants to use him more as a downfield receiving threat. That's the way he was used at Kentucky. I like the way they're using him in, I would say, diverse ways. They're giving him those pitches on the jet sweeps. I'm not concerned about Wan'Dale Robinson. He's going to be a stud. David Sills, he's just David Sills at this point. Look, I wish he would get the reps over Marcus Johnson because I know Sills is going to at least catch the football. But you're dependent on David Sills, Marcus Johnson, Darius Slayton, and Richie James to be your top wide receivers. It's going to be a long, long season at that spot for the New York Football Giants. Before we get into some trade rumors, we already mentioned the guys we're going to talk about. I want to ask you this question. Grade the Giants wide receiver core. A, B, C, D, or F. I want you to be honest. Get out your red pen and let me know your grade for the Giants wide receiver core. And I'll tell you this much, guys. If the Giants make a trade for a wide receiver, we are going to be going live on the channel, and we are going to party. That's why you sub. Breaking videos, breaking news, rumors, anything that happens around the Giants, we get you guys a video as soon as possible. And don't jinx it. We've been saying sub for Giants dubs all year long. If you want to go 7-1, go down right now and hit that big red button. We talked about them off at the top of the show, but the wide receivers on the trade market right now are DJ Moore, Jeudy, Brandin Cooks, and Elijah Moore. Let's start with DJ Moore, who I think is the best wide receiver by far amongst any of those wide receivers we talked about. So far this year, has 27 grabs for 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, about 10 yards per pop. He's doing that with Baker Mayfield and P.J. Walker. But look at the years before, even with subpar quarterback play. Last year, 93 grabs for damn near 1,200 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's a yards after catch machine. As you know, Joe Shane would say, he's a generator with the football. He would be perfect for this offense. And DJ Moore makes the most sense out of any of the wide receivers we're going to talk about on this video for a trade for the New York Giants, and it comes down to the dollars and cents. He just got a contract extension prior to this year, so there's some dead money that would come into effect for the Carolina Panthers. But look at the Chicago Bears. Look at the Atlanta Falcons. Look at the Seattle Seahawks. Those teams aren't worried about the hard cap. The Panthers aren't going to be good for a couple of years. They need to turn it around. They're going to sell some assets at the deadline. They already traded Christian McCaffrey. Incurring a dead cap hit next year isn't going to hurt too much. It would only cost the Giants, because I already know the salary cap nerds are watching this video like, Marshall, how are we going to make a trade? We have no cap money. It's only going to cost you $600,000 this year to trade for DJ Moore. He has a dead cap hit, of about $1 million this year. Divide that by 17, times it by 10, the games remaining. That's how much you owe him, about $608,000 this year. So it's not the financials that's going to hold this back. And this rumor comes from this account over on Twitter, NY Giants Rumor Mill. They tweeted about OBJ. The Giants were talking about him. So I don't know how actually accurate they are, but I do think it's important to talk about the rumors that are out there. Their report was that the NY Giants have called about Panthers wide receivers DJ Moore and Terrace Marshall Jr. They said it was from Fox. I didn't see Fox saying anything, but it's my job to talk about the latest Giants news and rumors. I think when you talk about a wide receiver trade, especially one for DJ Moore, who in my opinion is a good, not elite, but a good wide receiver in this league. Let's go back and look at the trade compensation for some wide receivers who I think are all better than DJ Moore going into this season. For the Eagles to get A.J. Brown, they had to give a first-round pick and a third-round pickup. For the Las Vegas Raiders to obtain Devontae Adams, they had to give up a first and a second-round pick. For Tyreek Hill to be traded to the Miami Dolphins, the Chiefs, they got a first-round pick, a second-round pick, 2 fourths, and a 6th-round pick. Like I said, DJ Moore is not as good as those guys, but I do think he is a top 15 wide receiver in the National Football League. And in an offense like the Giants, with Brian Dable, Mike Kafka, and Daniel Jones, who would be the best quarterback he ever played with, he would be worth the coin that it would cost. I think it would cost the New York Football Giants a first-round pick. And some people may be like, no way, no how am I giving up a first-round pick for a wide receiver. What if I told you this right now? Would you trade Kadarius Toney for DJ Moore? Everybody would say yes. Why take a chance? Because that's what a first-round pick is in the NFL. It's a lottery ticket. You have a chance of it hitting, and you have a chance that it doesn't hit. Would I trade a first-round pick for a guaranteed proven wide receiver in DJ Moore? Yes, I would. Who do the Giants need most? What position do they need most? Wide receiver. What position are they going to draft in the 2023 NFL draft in the first round? A wide receiver. You're 6-1 right now. Go get the player that you're going to pick in the first round right now and make this team better and find out who Daniel Jones is. Remember, that's the point of this year, to find out if Daniel Jones is that guy. Go get him an elite receiver. Go get him a wide receiver 1 and find out if Daniel Jones is the guy. I would do this trade over and over again because I think if you can trade a lottery ticket for some for sure cold hard cash like DJ Moore, you do it every single time. But this show, it's not all about me. It's about the audience interaction, and I want to take the pulse of all New York Giants fans out there. Would you make this trade? Would you trade your first-round pick? And if you look at the records right now, it's going to be somewhere in the 20s. You're not going to get an elite wide receiver most likely that late in the first round, so I'll ask you, would you make this deal? Type A for accept or type T for decline. Ian Rappaport also tweeted this out Sunday morning. That's why we're talking about Brandin Cooks and Jerry Jeudy. He said some big-name wide receivers generating trade interest. Wide receiver Brandin Cooks has been the target of multiple calls. Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool has been in focus. We talked about him last week, but it's not expected to be dealt. And barring a shift, not to be expected to be dealt, barring a shift. Then he went on to talk about Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy has been the center of calls as Denver has sputtered in the 2022 NFL season. Let's talk about Jerry Jeudy, a guy coming out of Alabama that was a former first-round pick, hasn't lived up to the hype. Go back to his rookie year. That's his best year in the NFL. Played 16 games, 52 grabs, 856 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But since then, he's kind of been, I would say, knocked off track by injuries a little bit. Played just 17 games in the last 2 years, has less than 1,000 yards and only 2 touchdowns. I like Jerry Jeudy, but I ain't giving up a first-round pick, and I probably ain't giving up a second-round pick for Jerry Jeudy. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I think he could be an elite number 2 one day. I don't think he's a wide receiver number 1. The financials for Jerry Jeudy are very similar to DJ Moore. The trade would cost the New York Football Giants $1.1 million this year to go and pick up Jerry Jeudy in a trade. So you could make it happen. I know the Giants are cap strapped, but you can clear up $1 million if you really want to go out and get Daniel Jones a weapon. We'll continue to talk about more wide receivers on the trade market, but first, I want to hook you guys up with an awesome deal. Get a Giants throwback jersey. These jerseys are so clean. We've got a bunch of different players you can go and get. They're going to wear them one more time this season. Have yours for when they do. Go to chatsports.com/Giants throwback. Chatsports.com/Giants throwback. Get a Barkley, get Xavier McKinney, Daniel Jones. They got a lot of players on there. Just go to chatsports.com/Giants throwback. Let's talk about Brandin Cooks now, who also was mentioned by Ian Rappaport in that tweet we showed a second ago. Look, this year has 28 grabs for 281 yards and a touchdown. Look at the prior 2 years. 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards. He has 6 seasons under his belt in the National Football League of at least 1,000 yards. And he's been traded time and time again. The financials is a little bit tougher with him. We'll break that down in a second. But when you talk about Brandin Cooks, this is a guy that is an elite receiver. Is he a wide receiver one? Probably not. This is someone that I think makes you better, but I don't think he's better than DJ Moore, and I don't think he's better than Jeudy at the moment, considering Jeudy is a little bit much younger and Brandin Cooks is a lot older. I think Cooks is probably a better player at the moment, but going forward, I'd rather have Jeudy. What it would cost for the Giants to trade for Brandin Cooks, it would be $687,000 per year. The thing is, it leaves the Texans with $34.2 million in dead cap money. So, look, maybe good producing, Trace. Maybe, the Giants could go out and get Brandin Cooks for a second-round pick. Do you want to trade a second for Cooks? I lean more towards the first for DJ Moore, but hey, anything to get some help to this team at the wide receiver spot, I'd be down for. Stop being cheap, Joe Shane. I love you. I love what you're doing, but you're killing Daniel Jones in this offense out there. Dov Kleiman also tweeted about Elijah Moore yesterday. Said not only did the Jets make wide receiver Elijah Moore inactive for the Broncos game, but according to Peter Schrager, Moore also did not travel with the team to Denver after he was upset for his lack of touches. Ian Rappaport reported that Elijah Moore, asked the team to be traded earlier this week. Could the Giants, the other team in New York or New Jersey, make a trade for Elijah Moore? Hasn't lived up to the hype coming out of Ole Miss. This is someone that a lot of people thought could be one of the best wide receivers in that draft class, but in just 17 games in 2 seasons, he only has 59 catches, less than 750 yards, does have 5 touchdowns. I like Elijah Moore, but I'm not giving up anything more than a third-round pick for Elijah Moore. I've seen some people say trade Kadarius Toney for Elijah Moore. I mean, maybe I'd do it. I'm still holding out hope Kadarius Toney can be that guy. Hopefully he comes back healthy and produces, but you need more help than just Kadarius Toney. The Giants have to make a move for a wide receiver, whether it be in free agency. I know you don't have a whole bunch of money right now, but look, you got to do something. Trace, I want to go back to that List 5 logo that we started the show with. Then we'll get to the real ones. Now that you've seen the stats, now that you've seen how much it would cost the Giants to trade for all of these guys money-wise, I want to ask this question one more time. Pick a wide receiver to trade for. 1 for DJ Moore, 2 for Jeudy, 3 for Brandin Cooks, 4 for Elijah Moore. This is the order. I would power rank the guys. I'd want Moore, Jeudy, Cooks, then Moore again, 2 Moores. But DJ Moore, this is the guy I'd want number 1 on my list. He's the guy the Giants should go get. He's a legit wide receiver 1. Doesn't cost them a lot of money to make him, work in a trade for the Giants. Would cost a first-round pick. Would they accept it? I don't know. But look, dangle that first-round pick in front of them. See if they would do it. Let me know which guy you want the Giants to trade for. And I appreciate everybody, as always, that makes New York Giants now a part of their day. You made it this far in the video. So I know that you made it this far in the video. If this is your first time watching, I like to go down in the comments of every video, see who comments, get an idea of who's always watching these videos. So if you made it this far in the video, let me know you did by commenting a real one in the comment section.